Hey y'all, let's take three. It screwed up a couple times as the video actually split in two. Why it does it, shuts off and then starts up, keeps going again. I don't know. Gonna have to look into the user guide in this thing and find out why it's doing that. Now I'm on the Hero 3 with the fat lens on it because the 3 white went dead. The battery went dead. So here we are, July 14. Things are a little different here. We got the 125 is back in the garage. The vintage car and the Briggsy are in the storage unit. Got the trailer back over to Rich's house, getting ready to really go hard and heavy on the paint and clear coat on the outside of that thing. Get that done and done, so it's really out of our hair. But we got some other things going on here. We took some pictures today. We got the spare set of tanks for the vintage car. Spare motor, complete set of the complete OEM set of brakes. We got from Rick Queen with the spindles and front hubs and rotors and all that stuff. All still in one piece. Braided lines, all connected. Master cylinder, the whole 9 yards. We sold the vintage cart. That's right. One run with the proper gearing and stuff on it there that you saw on the other page, on the other channel. 5-6 laps. She ran good. We get back home looking around. I actually came home early. I came home Saturday afternoon after the races were over and uploaded some video, put the video of the 125 shifter race, the start and the spin. I posted that on Facebook, and then I started looking around. I went over to the vintage group, and there was a guy there said he's looking maybe to get back into karting after quite a few years, 30, 40 years being out of it. He was racing McCullough Enduros back in the day, back in the 70s. And I don't know. He gave me a phone number. We sent emails back and forth. We end up talking on the phone. And I think it's best at this point, if I'm going to sell it, get rid of it before I put any scratches in it, right? And the reason I came home early and the reason I'm going to be selling all the Enduros except this one here, all the laydown carts, is because I've got this issue with my lumbar, with the surgical deal going on with the fusion of the back. Laying flat down the cart, getting in, piece of cake, laying down, driving it, piece of cake. Getting out, sitting up, and then putting your arms behind you, and that hinging action that goes on there, I think we all, as when we're healthy, we just take it for granted. What I found is literally the last 3 times, June 1, 2 of 20, when we had the bug test, October of 20, when we ran the vintage car for the first time, and then here again in April. All 3 times I had really bad leg cramps from my ankles to my groin, really bad in my thighs, so bad. You know, if you moved, it got worse. I mean, there was no getting out of bed and standing on it or stretching it and making it better. Only happens at the racetrack. Only happens after getting in and out of these laydown carts since the surgery, right? Barring Gingerman last September, I was only in and out of that out of this car here 3 times that morning, and never did have an issue with cramps in my legs. But I was 208. I was a lot skinnier then. I'm 10 pounds heavier and I'm 218 now. So that chub doesn't help the situation, but the bottom line is the injury is in my spine. The work done to it has been done, and I'm still, even with a brace on, having a hard time not aggravating that surgical site, that fusion of bones, where when you bend, you're trying to hinge on that part of the hinge. It won't move anymore. And it just like a broken bone that's healed. If it was your femur here in your leg, or say here you broke your arm, any kind of pressure on that, even after it heals, it's going to be sore. And that's what's going on. So I called the wife and told her, hey, listen, this is what's going on. She said, well, you didn't blow anything up, right? I said, no, but I'm going to come home. My back is hurting. And I told her about the leg cramp thing. And I talked to Harry and a couple other guys at the track who have suffered from these leg cramps as well. And it's not from not drinking enough water. I don't eat bananas because they give me a bellyache. I can't eat a banana unless it's in a banana split. I seem to be able to eat them that way, but any other time, it'd just give me a terrible stomach ache. Finding out that other guys have these problems and they have nerve issues in their hip. And my surgical work was done in my spine, but the pain and the symptoms were all in my hip and down my leg. Well, I get these cramps in both my legs. So the one common denominator is that surgical site and what's gone on. So the wife says, well, it sounds like, that you're just going to have to hang it up. You're going to have to get rid of those go-karts. Hey, boy, that's a bummer. And I said, yeah, I am. And she said, really? I said, yeah, I'm going to sell them all. Well, I'm not going to sell this one. I've got to keep this one just in case we go to Daytona. We need a fast laydown car. Right? I said, yeah, I got to sell them. It's good. They all got to go because I can't have this pain and stuff in my back anymore. She said, wow, that was easy. I said, well, I'm going to sell all the laydowns and I'm going to buy a superkart. She said, oh, no, you're not. And I said, no, yes, I am. So I'm already shopping. I'm trying to find an Anderson chassis. We want to build a 125, not a 250. The dirt bike 250 just seems pointless to me because our 125 is just as fast as a dirt bike 250. Mono or single European 250, way out of my price range. Too expensive to maintain, too expensive to purchase. And obviously the twin is even further out in la la land for us. Nowhere near a budget we could perform. But watching Jeff Metter, the guy we raced with in that Daytona video from 2013, he was in a 250 gas at that time, but he's got an Anderson 125 long track chassis, which is basically it's the same thing as a 250. I think the purpose-built Anderson model is probably thinner wall tubing or smaller wall tubing, but it's basically the same car. It's a Maverick 3, I think. They're all listed as a Maverick 3, the mono, the Division 2 or Division 1, two-cylinder, inline two-cylinder, and the 125. So that's the way we're going to go. We're going to try semi-sitting up. And some of you are saying, well, didn't you build one of those? And I did. I built a little superkart with PVP bodywork from a GP6, brand new, unmolested, unused virgin GP6 CIK cart. The problem with that cart was it's a CIK chassis. Those chassis are designed for a short sprint track, even though they road race them. They're designed to be replaced every year, so they're super flexible, and you got to add seat struts and bolt bearing cassettes down and unbolt bearing cassettes to tighten and loosen and do all types of things, where the Anderson is a long circuit racing chassis intentionally built for that purpose. So I think we're going to be better off. Jeff looks like he's doing really well. I know he has a TM. I don't know if he's got a new, like an R1 TM, or if it's maybe it's a K, not a K9. Was it a 10? K10? Is that what they call it? ABC 10 ABC, whatever. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I think our RVXX is up to the test. It's a good motor, and it's a Vortex, man. A Vortex is the baddest motor on the planet, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to these KZ ICC stuff. So it's not a Modena, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just as good. So we'll have to put something together. We're going to try to put something together. We're going to sell off the. We have the vintage cart sold, and we got a really good number for that, and got rid of a bunch of spare stuff. We still have the Hemingway Yamaha, which is the hot rod. We still have the ARC piston port in the house. We still have a Horseman axle clutch. We still have an S4 pipe. So we have parts and pieces to put on the Dick Tracy cart that's over in Rich's garage, right? The TS Hurricane. The Ted Swan-Tech straight tubing, right, with the outboard clutch outside the main frame rail. And it's got a modern nose cone. It's got the late model nose cone that everybody's using already mounted to it. We could make some side panels, put that cart together, and sell it off. And we could allow it to go pretty cheap, because everything we've got packaged up here, we got in a package deal in one package or another over the past 2 years. So, you know, we can afford to let it go cheap, get it in somebody's hands who wants to run it. It'll be a running package, and we'd be able to get a good chunk of dough for it, add it to the price of the vintage car, and now we got a good chunk of dough to get a good base for an Anderson. We're going to take the Daytona chassis, and folks, I don't think we're going to bother building it now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 40 millimeter stuff. Nothing's welded together yet. Go with 1.25 inch. Get everything, the bearing hangers and stuff, ground height, ride height set up for it. Standard, either 100cc, Reed, rotary, maybe not rotary, but Reed motors, or Yamaha or whatever, and get that thing back at least back with 4 corners, steering, nut bar, all that kind of stuff on it. And we could probably, I'm sure that's an 05 to 07 Emic. That's a late model, very late model produced Emic cart. So we shouldn't have any problem getting a few bucks for it too, without spending a bunch of money on it, actually building it up. So we get rid of that. We get rid of the Dick Tracy TS Hurricane. We get rid of the rest of the motors, clutches, pipes, and stuff we've got laying around for 100cc. The vintage car will be gone. All we have left is this, the vintage car that Rich took over from cousin Mike. Cousin Mike with the California Quicksilver with the 100 open stuff from back in the 80s. Rich would have his toy to play with. I'd have this one, and I'm going to build this Anderson 125 open is what they call it over in Europe, but it's a 125 long track or long circuit cart. I'll put a picture of it on as the thumbnail here. It's a nice, sweet looking package. Like I said, Jeff Metter's got his running pretty well. He had him handled down at Roebling Road, and he had the Pavese brothers, the new Pavese brothers, maybe the Pavese cousins we should call them, because they're not the original Mike and Brian, and then Brian and Mitch. It's Scott Davison and Alan Hollinger. We'll call them the Pavese cousins. Jeff had him covered. He got around everybody after 2, 3, 4 laps, and then he motored away. So maybe he's hit on something there. I think we can build something very competitive with that, and we'll still have a lay down car to fall back on. Who knows? Maybe it's just a matter of an ice pack when, between getting in and out of the car between the end of the day and going to bed, so we don't get cramps. And we need to lose a little of this chub. So that's it. Just wanted to give you an update here for the 14th of July. It's Wednesday, garbage day in Racing Roseville, and just wanted to let you know that things are changing. I'm happy I got a good quality ride in the old vintage car, and we'll miss her, but we're going to send her off to somebody who's really going to take good care of her. And he's excited about getting back into a go-kart after a bunch of years, and so to get him into something that's really, it's a beautiful cart. You guys saw it. He's really going to dig it, and I'm looking forward to seeing him down the road. He said he's talking about going to Pittsburgh. Obviously, if he's in Rockton, he'll be going to Grattan or maybe Gingerman. So we'll see him again, and we'll have to get him on camera and see how he likes his cart. But a lot of hard work, put a lot of time into it, and it makes it a little personal. But we don't try not to get too attached to this stuff anymore. This one here, different story. This is my baby. It'll go on a wall before I let anybody else get their hands on this one here. But yeah, looking forward to the Anderson build if we can find one. First couple of days of window shopping, we're not having a heck of a lot of luck finding what we're looking for. But we'll stay persistent. We'll keep after it. So the projects will keep coming. They just may be coming in a little different form. That's all. That's all we got for you tonight, guys. God bless, Godspeed. Pray for my back. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. It'll get better. Trust me. It will get better out there. We're going to get us a superkart. I never thought I'd get an Anderson superkart. We're going to get us a superkart, guys. Hang in there. God bless.